having us here. We are happy to see that you are joining us today to participate in our webinar, FinTech through the Management Lens. My name is Olga, and together with Zahid, Head of Innovation Valley, Pakistan, we will be your host today.
Thank you, Olga, for introducing me. I'm so happy that being the head of Innovation Valley, we are collaborating with Satellite Learning for this amazing program, which is named as FinTech through Management Lens. And for this, we have amazing instructors. But before we go into the details, I would love to tell you a little bit that what we will be covering into this webinar. We will be covering what actually FinTech is, how does it work, what are fintech opportunities in future and right now, and what will you learn out of all this webinar, and how you will be get enrolled, and in the end we will be having question and answer sessions. So for the more details what actually this program is all about and about more about the fintech, I will request to Mr. Denis. Over to you guys.
And today you will hear from the Professor of Finance and Innovation, Denis Boevskiy, more about mentioned topics. Denis Boevskiy is a lecturer at Geneva Business School, Switzerland, Global Business School, Spain, and IESE International Business School in Spain, where he teaches MBA, Executive MBA, Master and Bachelor program courses. Among others, he teaches the following courses on finance, innovation, management, and entrepreneurship. Professor Denis Boevskiy is a member of an Academy of Management. He is currently doing research at University of Amsterdam, Netherlands, and recently his papers were presented at the Academy Management Conference this year. But before Denis will explain his vision of the program, I would like to share with you a little bit more about SIT learning. Zahid, if you could open the slides. So SIT learning, I would like to shortly explain that SIT learning is a part of SIT ecosystem that besides learning includes Campus, Start Garden, SIT Autonomous, SIT Capital, and Alimera. So basically, SIT is a global institution dedicated to promoting science, education, and technology. Its headquarters in Schaffhausen, Switzerland, and SIT is a growing ecosystem that comprises education, research, as well as commercial technology spin-offs and consulting services. SIT Learning is the next generation educational partner for digital transformation, and we serve as a bridge between management and digital technologies. I think, Zahid, you can share a little bit about Innovation Valley.
All right. So I would love to share with all of you that Innovation Valley is basically an US and Pakistan based tech company with two missions. Our first mission is to actually innovate the learning, teaching, education management, and processes of the institutes via tech strategies, tools, techniques, and solutions to save the times, efforts, and cost of the education institutes and make the learning more result oriented and purposeful. And our second mission is to upskill and reskill students to make them employable with a hybrid education model where skills and knowledge are accessible to everyone, anywhere, online and on campus. The skills that would prepare them for the future and the fourth industrial revolution. Yeah. So
amazing.
Now we'd love to hand over this presentation to our speaker, Mr. Denis, that why do we need fintech and how to run a fintech firm.
Thank you, Zahid. Thank you, the participants. Happy to see you here in this webinar. Yeah, so the question that we think about looking at the topic of this program is why do we need fintech and how to run a fintech firm? Yeah, so to answer these questions, we need to look at the problems that we have currently in traditional business models. So could you show the next slide, please? So the first problem is related to problems with traditional banking sector. So Bill Gates said, we need banking, but we don't need banks anymore. So what is it about? So it's about the problems with traditional banks. So we have high fees, high regulation, high interest rates for the borrowers, and low interest rate for the investors, for depositors. Okay, but why we need traditional banks? It's a great question. And no, the previous slide, please. So we still have, we think about new business models that we can find in FinTech, financial technologies. We can connect directly borrowers and the lenders via peer-to-peer platforms, marketplace platforms. In this case, this service is cheaper. We don't have this type of costs that we have in traditional banks. And of course, this business model can improve efficiency of both borrowers and lenders. The next slide, please. So the next problem is related to the change in the customer needs. Okay, so previous generations, who is now 50, 60, etc., they were focused on traditional institutions. For them, it was important to go to a traditional bank to pay physical money, to use services that offered by the client manager, etc. So new generation, you can see it in this slide. We have generation Y, generation Z, generation Alpha. They focus mostly on technology, and they have different values. Okay, so their values like interaction, being flexible, being able to use any technology they want, etc. So, of course, this is also a problem for traditional financial sector, and FinTech should offer new business models for new generations. The next slide, please. So, the third element that we have in problems related to FinTech and traditional finance is investments. Yeah. So we have highly expensive cost of investment. So, for example, if you want to invest money by ETF funds, exchange traded funds, you need to pay a commission, 2.53% annual commission, and this is just for a client manager that manages your portfolio. Instead, we can create InvestTech platforms that could manage your investments using artificial intelligence, robo-advisors, chatbots, and it will cost you from 0 to 0.5% instead of 2.53%. So investors really can save money using InvestTech platforms. And also we have funds that run by artificial intelligence, so they could help investors to increase return on the investment. It's really a great opportunity. So the next slide, please. And of course, we should take into account the digital trends. So we have democratization trend. Yeah. So what does it mean? In this slide, you can see $5 million in 2000 and only $20,000 in 2022. What is it about? Okay, so think about it. What do you think? Maybe 10 seconds. Any idea? So this is about how much money do you need to start your own business. Yeah. So in year 2000, you needed millions of dollars to start a new venture. Now it's just 20,000, and you can start your own digital platform. So this is a democratization trend. So everyone can participate, and you also can participate. After this course, we will know how to launch your own FinTech startup. So democratization trend is highly important, as we can find different business models. Every person that can see any inefficiency in traditional financial services, they could offer new business model. They can start their own venture and be successful entrepreneur. So platformization is about launching services via platforms. So we have platforms like via our smartphones, but also we have ecosystems that connect together various complementary firms that create value for their customers. Okay, so consumerization trend is about focusing on the customer needs. Now we don't see at the products or services that they have. We look at the customer needs. We go deeper. We see what are their pain points, how to improve the experience, how to add value to the customers. And of course, we have big data when we can get huge amount of data, not only structured data. We can get data from videos, messages, texts, pictures, everywhere in the internet. And using this big data, applying data analytics, artificial intelligence, we can apply various business models that can automate processes, increase efficiency, and offer new business models for customers. So this is about current digital trends. The next slide, please. So in this program, we are going to look at the business model that solve this type of problems, that focus on the customer needs. We will look at peer-to-peer platforms that connect directly borrowers and the lenders, removing traditional banks. Of course, peer-to-peer platforms are cheaper and offer more personalized service for the users. We will look at PayTech, digital wallets, and payment ecosystems. When you have just a payment app, and by this payment app, you can pay, you can buy any type of goods or services, you can get a discount, you can use insurance and additional services. So all these is a payment ecosystem. Investec and robo-advisors. As I told you, robo-advisors could automate the process of investment. So we don't need to pay high commission to human advisors. And of course, we can improve our investment portfolio's returns applying artificial intelligence. We will study it in the course. And we will look at the cutting-edge opportunities for FinTech. So what is next? Which other business models can be launched? Or we will think about how to create our own new business models, including we will look at metaverse perspective. So metaverse is our nearest future. So what can we do in metaverse for FinTech, for new technologies related to finance? So this is about what we're going to study related to FinTech, but also, of course, we will look at, this is the first part of the program. So maybe the next slide could show us a little bit better. Okay, so the next one, please. Yeah, so in this course, we're going to look at disruptive technology of the 21st century FinTech. We will look at various FinTech business models, analyze the opportunities and challenges, and of course, you'll get knowledge how to launch your own FinTech startup. And the third important skill that you will obtain is to how to manage a FinTech firm and or project. So in this program, we have three important skills that you obtain: knowledge about current business models, FinTech business models, and technologies. Second, you will study how to launch your own startup. And third, you will be able to lead a FinTech firm or a project. So the next slide, please. Okay, so This is about who are our potential participants of the program. And we have three main groups of participants, as we have three main focuses of the program. So we have the same groups corresponding to these program's objectives. So first of all, we have the CEOs and middle managers who work in financial sector or who want to be able to manage the fintech projects or fintech companies. Second, we have finance professionals who work in the financial sector. They would like to be to obtain the skills to be able to work applying fintech business models and applying knowledge on platforms, digital wallets, payment ecosystems, investment technologies. And third, this program could be interesting for entrepreneurs or potential entrepreneurs who would like to launch a startup. Yeah, so maybe you just have an idea of fintech and you would like to launch it. So also you can join the program and see how it's working. Which technologies do we have? Which business models do we know? What are the next level of business models? What are the opportunities, future development of fintech? And you learn how to launch your own startups, how to create an idea of a startup, how to do analysis of the market, what do you know about the competitors, which business models we can create, how to do it, what are the elements of the business model, how to go from the business model to the prototype to business plan, and how to present your startup. It's also important to get investment. So this is about the participants who is expected in this program. So the next slide, please. And this is what you will know after the program. At the end of this program, you will get extensive knowledge and understanding of fintech landscape, drivers, how to evaluate current situation and perspectives in the future. You will learn peer-to-peer lending platforms, payment technologies, investech, crypto crowdfunding. You will know how to launch your own fintech startup. You will develop your management and leadership skills to lead a fintech firm. So you will be able to create your own digital strategy for your fintech firm and successfully implement changes. So we'll also look at digital transformation, how to transform a traditional company into a fintech company. Really great skill. So if you work in traditional company and you have this skill, you can join the team who is responsible for digital transformation. It's really great opportunity for your career. So you will be familiar with key financial concepts, and of course you will create networking and connections to leaders and practitioners in the field. On the next slide, please. Okay, so this program is during 3 days. So first day we will study fintech drivers, what are the fintech platforms, and how to launch your own startup. Second day we will look at payment technologies, paytech, investment technologies, investech, and we will look at fintech business models. Third day, we will look at the management, leadership skills, and we will discuss implementation of digital innovation in the firm, and we will discuss metaverse perspective and other fintech opportunities in the future. Okay, so the next slide, please. Okay, so this is our program outline. So as you can see, we have various types of activities. And the idea is that if this program is pretty intensive, it's around 8 or 9 hours per day. Of course, we will change activities to have it in engaging, so to get fun, okay, so to be productive, efficient, etc. So we're going to apply various techniques. So we will look at the case studies, we will get discussions, we will get interactive exercises, we will do group work, final project group work, and we have guest speakers, practitioners from the field, from your country. Of course, we will have coffee breaks, lunch breaks, 2 coffee breaks per day and 1 lunch break. So Zahid, maybe you can add something about location or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would request to Olga to
Yes.
cover the next slide. Then I will be adding something.
Yeah, sure. So the important thing here is that we start on the 27th of January. The program lasts for 3 days. It's going to be very intensive 3 days. The language of the program is English, and we require participants to participate in person. The program will happen in Lahore, Pakistan, and here you can see the tuition fee. It is $2,000, but we have several discounts available. First of all, let me uh, I would like you to know that we have an early bird discount, which is expires on the 30th of November. So basically, you can get 15% discount if you apply in a coming month. We also have several discount options for corporate participants. So if you bring 3 people from your company, you get 5% discount. If you bring 5 people, it's the discount rises up to 20%. So basically, we have a 4+1 system where one can participate for free once he brings 4 participants from his network or from his company. Next slide, please.
All right. So I would first of all thank to Denis for explaining all the stuff so amazingly, and I would ask Denis that how how one participant can know, how one person can know that this program is for him or her. Who should actually join this program and why?
Oh, thank you for the question, Zahid. Yeah, so how to understand is it program for you or not? We should think about the groups of participants that we're focusing on. So first of all, we have middle management and top management of companies working in financial sector. Second, we have professionals who work in financial industry and want to improve their position, get a better position. So, of course, if you work in finance, in financial department, or in a company in the financial sector, so if you want to um, improve your position, of course, you need to know FinTech. You should get the skill, as now we move from traditional finance to FinTech. So in a few years, we will forget the word finance. We will get only the word FinTech, as everything will be automated. And as we have changes in the generations, so this digitalization automation process will continue. So now we have current business models. Next 5-10 years, we will have new business models. But if you have this skill, creating ideas of startups, knowing the needs of the customers, how to create business models for the customers, focusing on personalized services, thinking about customer needs, understanding financial technologies. So you will be able to move on and be successful in your career in finance and fintech. And of course, second group that we're focusing on are the entrepreneurs or people who would like to be an entrepreneur, who have an idea. FinTech startup. We will look at the technology field. We will understand how to create ideas, how to brainstorm them, how to think about customers' pain points, and how to launch their own startup. And the third group will be also important for people who work in non-financial sector, but in companies that could be connected to FinTech. As I mentioned, we have payment ecosystems, for example. So in payment ecosystems, you have just your smartphone, from the smartphone, and in one app, you can pay everything. You can pay, you can connect to any company and pay for that. As payment is the starting point. I have money, I want to buy this, so I can go to the payment app and find what I want to buy. Okay, so in this case, if companies would like to participate in the payment ecosystems, they also need to know FinTech. So people who work in other sectors also this program is important for them to understand business, to understand trends, and to be successful in their career.
Right. I'm going to ask you next a very interesting question and the very basic question on this program. Why you named it this program as like FinTech through the management lens? Can you please explain like the relationship between the FinTech and the management and what is the basically purpose to name this program like this?
Okay, great question, Zahid. Thank you. So the idea of focusing not only financial technology, but three in one, we have financial technology and business models, fintech startups, and management leading fintech firms. So the idea of launching this type of program is high demand of this type of functions in the companies. As we have people who can do coding, but the management people of C-level, middle management, they have problems with managing innovation as they don't understand that it deep enough. They don't know the business models. They think in terms of traditional companies instead of thinking in innovation way. Okay, and part of this program will be focused on how to manage a company, how to manage innovation, how to commercialize innovation, how to get money from innovation. An important part is digital transformation and change management. So implementing innovation is really a great deal now, and companies focusing on data analysts, code programmers, they forgot about managers. And now we have this lack in the management of the companies.
So Dennis, since you know that fintech is really an disruptive technology, and you know that today the pulse of change is so erratic, you can't predict the future so accurately. You don't know what will happen in the next moment or in the next month. So, keeping in view all this, what do you think? What will be the impact of fintech on all the industries, and particularly, what do you think? Which industries will be more impacted with the implementation of fintech?
Okay, thank you, Zahid, for your question. Yeah, really great question. So now the impact of fintech is mostly concerned banks. Okay, so banks started transform their services. They started moving from traditional banks into a digital bank. So it's like they're going to be big fintech firms. Yeah. So this trend we already have, and now we have more participants that for whom fintech is important. So in the future, I expect that invest tech will be highly popular as the moment people who invest money, they are pretty old, they are not so young, yeah, and they prefer traditional way of investing. But now more and more younger people start investing, and of course they need changes in the services that we have. So I expect new trends related to fintech in wealth management, and including the metaverse perspective, for example, when we speak about wealth management. So how will we have it in the future? So maybe it will be done by a metaverse. Yeah, so maybe it will be done virtually. So all of these trends affect invest tech and wealth management. So this is like what I expect to be affected most in the financial sector. But also, as I said, uh, others, commercial sector that is connected to fintech ecosystems also will be affected by fintech. And here, the most change is expected in companies that are focused that work with end users. Okay, so if the company produces something or um, creates services for people, for customers, for the users. So in this case, fintech will be highly important for them to facilitate transactions, so to make it flexible, to add value together with other participants of the ecosystem.
So, Denis, I think every question is very interesting. So, how do you see the future of those companies who, for example, don't adapt this new technology?
Yeah, so it's also a very interesting question. So companies that will not adapt new technologies, they should die. Okay, so this is my uh, what I think about their future. And the problem is that you know that the trends that we discussed. So if you don't use big data, if you don't launch new business models, if you don't focus on changing preferences of the users, of course, these companies will not survive. And my advice to people who work in traditional companies, uh, join this program. Yeah, so you will get the skills, you will be able to find new job for you, or maybe you will join the team who will change your current company. It's change implementation, so change management and innovation implementation is highly important for traditional companies, and they will be happy to see you in the team. This is an important step in your career path. So, for example, I started working in my career. As you know, I worked as a CFO and member of the board. But I started my career as financial manager, and I participated in implementing changes, in implementing new software, new technology. So it was really appreciated by the top management. So they moved me in my career path, so I became a CFO. So if you have these skills of implementing innovation, if you know fintech business models, so it's a great deal for your career.
So, Dennis, at the moment, right now, would you like to share some example, for example, a couple of companies or any company name to which you think they have implemented fintech till now amazingly, right now? Any company which is already doing good on fintech implementation?
Yeah, so we have two groups of companies. First company, they were launched as startups and they became top popular and they became really big players in the market. And the second group is the companies that were able to transform their businesses from traditional to digital services. Okay, so for example, for the first group, I can mention Revolut. Yeah, so Revolut is a bank that is really smart, flexible. You can do everything, including you can buy crypto just pressing one button. Okay, so their services are really focused on customer. They're really digital. They're really effective. They really help customers to save money, to be more efficient, etc. Looking at the companies that transformed their current processes into digital ones, or we can look at some financial companies, for example, DBS Bank Singapore. We will discuss this case during the program. So they were just a traditional bank, but starting doing innovation, starting changing not only structure of the company, but changing the mindset of the employees. They were able to become a successful digital bank.
Right. All right, Denis. When we talk on the metaverse, do you think the metaverse is just a buzzword, or really, when the all the world is discussing this word and terminology, metaverse, how this fintech technology will be giving a lot of benefits when we talk on the speed and cost and efficiency. What will be the major benefits of fintech in the metaverse, and how this technology could be incorporated in the metaverse, and why it is need of the hour, really?
So this is the question that I will answer you after the program. Why? Just because this is the topic that we should brainstorm together with the students. There is no right answer to this question. Okay, so I have some ideas, but it's a secret at the moment. We will discuss it with the students, and at the end of the program, I will tell you.
All right, there is a person commenting that he's also, Junaid is commenting that he's also um, working in a fintech company, and I'm asking, does he has any questions? So maybe Junaid will be asking a question. So meanwhile, okay, so it means, Danis, you are creating curiosity basically right now, and I guess for that, the participants need to build a kind of baseline. I guess that you are referring to, that you will be explaining that after, I mean, in the live program, then you will be coming to Pakistan. All right, I got it. So I have another question. Which teaching methods you will be using in the program?
Okay, Zahid. So yeah, so in this program, as I told you, we're going to make it engaging, interactive, so it will not be boring. So we are not going to do traditional lectures or something. So forget about it. We will uh, we will do interactive discussions. We will look at the case studies. So the students will understand the best practices of top companies, of the best fintech companies. We will look at the guest speakers, so they will share their experience, or how they launch fintech business models in Pakistan. So we will brainstorm new fintech ideas. So we will create vision on who are our customers, how to analyze market, how to create the business model and the prototype for fintech. And we have a group work. So the students will be divided by mini groups, and they will work on their ideas of startups. And we professors will also join these groups to help the students work with their ideas. At the end of the course, students will present their ideas, and this will be a great skill of presentation fintech projects. Yeah, so really various types of activities are going to be launched.
Dennis, there are a lot of platforms right now, especially in the Europe and US, who are offering the fintech programs and fintech courses. Why, why one should join this program? What is the difference between this and the other programs that other platforms are offering?
Yeah, so this program is really different from other fintech programs. As first, we have focused on three important elements: fintech technology and business models, fintech startups, and managing fintech firms. And these skills are really important for many groups of participants. I'm not sure that it's possible to find this diversity in other types of fintech programs. Another advantage is that this program is intensive, and it's really great dive into fintech field, and it really helps to understand and get the skills. So I really love the intensive programs, and in this case, after the program, you will really become another person. So your skin is changed because you obtained so many skills, so you're really ready to implement them, to use them in your work, and improve what you have at the moment in your head, like ideas of fintech or your career movements or implementing some changes in your company.
Dennis, there are a lot of people in the society, who are working in some domain in certain profession, but they are actually not interested in that profession. They want to change their career. For example, if they are currently working in IT sector, maybe they want to change. They want to come into fintech, but the main problem they have is that they are they are unable to decide, should we switch to this career when right now we are 40 plus or we are 35 plus. So if somebody is changing the career, is this really sensible decision, and how should they make the decision while they're coming from the other domain to the fintech domain, and how fintech could help them more as compared to their previous domain, keeping in view that they are not interested in that certain profession?
Yeah, so thank you for this question. So it's like we can two parts. First of all, I wanted to tell you that the age is really not important, as the world is changing, and there are only two options. First option is to disappear with traditional companies, don't do anything. Okay, let's say I'm 40, I'm 50, I'm 60, and do nothing. But another way is to just change, get new skills, and start working. So I know many people who change their career in 40s, 50s, 60s, and they continue doing working in tech companies. Now it's the only way to survive, working in tech companies. Go and get the skills. And what is important also is that if you speak about entrepreneurs, if you want to launch your own startup, for example, the age is your advantage. So if you're 20 or 30, maybe probability of um, success is a little bit less when you launch a startup. But if you're 40, 50, 60, you're experienced well enough to launch a really successful startup. So it's an advantage. And speaking about changing the sector, if you work in one sector and is it a good idea to move to fintech sector? I think that this skill will help you to work in your current company. As I told you, many companies are related to financial technologies. Finance is everywhere, so everything is managed in terms of money. So if we have, for example, if you work in sales or in procurement department, you also have payments. You also have something related to this. If you know payment technology, if you know fintech, you can improve your career position in the current department. But also you can move to a new department, let's say working in financial department, or looking at um, paytech firms, invest-tech firms, etc. So it also could be the case, as I told you. Now, if you is able to change, if you are able to change, if you are able to implement innovation, it's a real benefit, and it doesn't matter that you worked in other departments. If you get the skill, you can go and go.
So Dennis, everybody wants to work with the Fortune 100 companies, and for that, most of the times, the professionals like to travel abroad. How this program could help the professionals to go abroad and find a good job and good career for them?
Yeah, so this program is designed for our participants who would like to work in your country, but also who would like to work abroad. As we will look at the best practices, we will study the case studies that where we see the business models of top companies, of the best fintech firms. And uh, I run this program in many countries, in Switzerland, Spain, the Netherlands, and my students, they really change their career. They really find a job in good companies, in Microsoft, in Google, Amazon. So really, it is possible when you get the skills of fintech through the management exams.
That's so amazing and insightful, Dennis. Really happy talking to you and listening at all the stuff you were presenting in really a good way. And I'm sure that even after this live session, many people will be watching this webinar offline, I mean recorded session on our channels, and they will be having the question that how they could register and sign up for this amazing program. So let me tell that we will be mentioning the registration link in the comment section, and they can also get that link on our website and every channel, either it's Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. They could find it in the comment section, or they could find it on the landing page on the homepage of our website, which is innovationvalley.pk. So today the session was so amazing and insightful. I'm sure many people will be listening to the recorded session. And now I will request to Olga what closing comments she would like to share.
I'd like to share thanks for Denis. Thank you for finding time to explain all of the important things about fintech. It's really been amazing, and we are really looking forward to see your applications. Please join our program, and of course, subscribe to Innovation Valley and SIT for more events and more webinars on our platforms. Thank you.